All right. I think we're live here. Welcome everyone. Quite a different Patriots Day yesterday for all of us, but thought I'd welcome everyone. It's Tuesday, the 21st of April, and thanks for joining the town hall. So Dan Harrison was not able to join us today, so I know he's listening in after he gets off the other call he's on today. So he'll be back Thursday and Friday for some check-ins and some Unity forum, which again, hopefully you saw the one on Friday. That was fantastic. Hope everyone is doing well. Everyone is healthy. Everyone has everything they need. We today, Sharon's going to join me. We'll update you on sort of where we are status-wise with individuals in programs having tested positive in staff, and just how the center's going, and overall how we're doing for equipment and supplies and really general needs. And I guess I just want to start, even before getting into any real details and specifics, just to say thank you. And I guess I want to say thank you, certainly to our incredible staff who have been amazing through this, and the nurses and the team of everybody supporting them behind the scenes. For all the people that pulled together telehealth programming and online programming. It's just amazing to be able to see people come together, and to see all the outcomes come together so quickly, and for people to feel the support and the messages that have come in from families and come in from just funding sources and everything, is that they're overwhelmed by the organization and support that NuPath has shown in this, and that's a credit to all those staff and certainly the staff working on the front lines at the center and at the houses. We want to say thank you very much, because it all starts there. So currently at the center, we have 2 individuals living there. I think that's the same as it was on Thursday. We had the second one moving in. They're both doing very well. The first person that moved in there should be coming close to being able to go back to his residence and join his house, where his other housemates are all healthy and safe. And so we're anxious to have that happen. We have the other individual that's living there, again, doing well. Different environment for him, challenging sometimes, but he seems to have rose up and adapted well to that environment. And again, that's a credit to the staff that are working with him during the days and overnight. Keep looking to my left at my notes, although I feel like I have them memorized. But so we do have a couple of other people out there we're waiting on results for. Currently, we're waiting on results for one individual, and we're also going to have somebody retested. It came back inconclusive, which is the second person out of all the people we've had to come back inconclusive. We did have a staff as well, and so they, just like other things, would go get retested, and we'll go from there. So certainly we're hopeful that comes back negative. And then, we did access this weekend. It went off like a well-oiled machine. Michelle Belleville and Matt Johnson and Sharon all updated me on Saturday. On Sunday. My days of the week are confusing right now, but that we did have a mobile testing unit from DDS go out to the houses and do the testing for a number of staff, as well as individuals, and that was a great resource to have. We know that other Fallon is doing this in partnership with the state, and we know they've been overwhelmed at a lot of testing, but it went off seamlessly for us, and we started to see a number of those results come in already, which again just gives great peace of mind for families and individuals and the staff working in those houses, and we'll continue to try to orchestrate and organize the mobile testing for everyone. I'm going to let Sharon sort of go into, we did have although we only have 2 people at the center, we do have a couple other positives that, in the beginning we said that there was a group that we didn't think would be appropriate completely for joining the center if they had diagnosed positive, and Sharon's going to update us a little bit more on them. But I just want to say thank you again to all the families as well. As I know, I thank the staff and everything everyone has done, but so many families have been so understanding and so generous during this time, you know, dropping off meals and just dropping off special things for the houses to have and for the center to have. And I know staff have done that, cooked meals and done some other stuff. And you know, that it's greatly appreciated, and the staff that have been on those shifts and the individuals have certainly appreciated it. And so, you know, there's no surprise that so many families have stepped up and done this and have been so understanding and supportive, and we're just so thankful for that. We know that this is a trying time for everyone. Everyone has family and loved ones that they're trying to take care of. Everyone has school cancellations happening and trying to do some homeschooling. I know I speak for myself when I say that that is certainly a challenge here. But as far as everything that everyone has done to pitch in, it's really been amazing. So so we'll continue to have the center stay open. We have the 2 individuals there. We will look to transition one out hopefully this week, and as we await the results of the others being out there tested, we will again, you know, if we have to break down the center, have it cleaned again, and have it hopefully be not needed to be used again, but certainly ready for if the numbers creep back up to where they were at one time. So Greg, I don't know if you want to bring in Sharon. She can update us on a few things. Hey, there you are, Sharon. How are you?
So Dan touched on the mobile unit from Fallon Health that came out to one of our homes on Sunday. We are still awaiting those test results. Those have not come back yet. They'll notify Matt Johnson when we get those results. We have tested 15 staff members mostly through CVS rapid testing site in Lowell. And out of those 15, 3 came back positive. So, and 1 we're still pending on with that one.
Sharon, I'm sorry to interrupt. Can you
Sure.
just, the rapid testing, how long are the results for that rapid testing?
15 to 30 minutes.
15 to 30 minutes, and then
Yeah,
the DDS mobile.
Sorry.
The DDS mobile testing. How long are the results for that?
Well, they don't have a time frame on it. Could be anywhere from 24 to 72 hours. They were tested on Sunday. Today's Tuesday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, every day is the same. I get confused with the days now. So we would expect by tomorrow to have those results, but they are going all over the state. They are inundated with what they're doing. Yeah, it's 24 to 72, and that we have to remember that Monday was a holiday, so I don't know if that's going to affect any of the labs that you know do their testing for them once they bring the swabs back. So yeah, we're still waiting on those. We tested that site proactively, so we didn't have anybody that we were concerned with at the time. So that's a good thing. So waiting seems okay to us. But we have set up staff that have worked in other houses that we found positive cases in, and those have all come back negative. We just have 1 pending. So we still have the 2 positive cases up at 147 at the New Boston Care Center. Hopefully they'll both go home by this weekend. That's hopefully the plan, and hopefully we won't get any more. We did have 5 people come back positive today. We got results, and they all working out of the same house. And so that's a house that we previously, when we made our plans for the New Boston Care Center, we also talked about the care and the medical needs of all of our houses. And there were a few houses that we decided that we would treat differently if they have positive cases or whatever. So we do have a house that has medical concerns that we felt that their needs will be better met within their own home, so that we could provide the services in the house with a consistent staff that are willing, with all the required protective equipment to see to all their care. So, that happened today. So we are working on that. I don't know, Dan, if you kind of wanted to touch base
Well,
on.
I guess, originally we identified really 3 of our residential programs that we wouldn't be moving into the center. For each house sort of had specific and unique reasons for that. And so I guess I just wanted to make sure that people understood and staff understood that, that the house we're going to treat as we would the center. And so staff in that house would be treated like working at the center, and we'll go self-isolate. And then also we'll do the 12-hour shifts there. But really that the care and comfort for those individuals based on their, each unique medical and physical needs, it made complete sense for them to stay at their residential home. And as we await the one result for the 4th resident there, we have a plan in action so that if that person does not test positive, that we'll be able to get that person someplace safe to be able to remain healthy. So
I do have one positive thing I'd like to add is one of the people that we had, without revealing anything, but we did have somebody that tested positive in the past, and then was re-exposed, and then we had him tested again, and they came back negative. So we don't hear about that in the news at all. But I'm hoping that's really promising news, that perhaps you can't get it again, or perhaps you have built an immunity once you do get it and recover. So holding our fingers crossed for that.
Good. I do, while I have you still with me here, over the weekend, we did lose somebody. We lost a couple of people since we've all left, which was March 17th, the last day of programs for 2 individuals that passed because of pneumonia, and one this weekend we lost because of the COVID testing. And so I don't know if you want to say anything more. They were all at our Martin Center. I know.
No, you can talk, because I'll probably just cry.
All right. So, I guess there were people. I've been with NuPath 22 years, and I know Bill Doherty was one of the individuals who had been going through a rough time recently. He passed away over the weekend due to pneumonia, and also a week ago, or week plus now, I guess we lost Lisa Jaria, who also passed away due to pneumonia. And again, both those people were long time individuals that attended NuPath and great friends of ours. And everyone, as before we came online here, we were sharing some stories about both of them. But this past weekend, we also lost Sean Kenny, again, as another staple of the days of CMARC and now NuPath. And he over the weekend was lost, and he was someone who did test positive for COVID, and so they were all missed, and I know the staff that have tuned in to listen, and the families today, that we just want to pass on our sympathy to them and support. So I didn't mean to put you on the spot, and I think I promised you I would let you sign off first before mentioning them, but I know that you and the nurses and the staff at the Martin Center and have supported those guys for a while, and so I know the families appreciate everything you guys have done. So
I would like to remind all the staff to continue to wear their masks at all times over their nose and mouth. That's extremely important, especially right now, where they feel like there's a lot of COVID out there.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's a great, reminder to all our staff, because I know that, with the beautiful weather that everyone experienced yesterday, and hearing stories of being at a surge, but still seeing maybe low numbers within NuPath, there has been a few cases where we've seen staff not have masks on or get a little lackadaisical in our own component, and we're trying to remain vigilant with that and staying on top of those staff and sending out reminders constantly, because that's the only way that we can remain that you stay, we know that you can stay healthy as well as keep the individuals healthy. We know in the news that there's been some stories coming out of DDS at the Hogan location, that they've had a hard time managing the number of cases they've had there, and also Tewksbury State Hospital has another situation going on where they've had some trouble of managing the cases they have there. Certainly, we certainly want to do what we can to keep our people healthy, keep our staff healthy, and using the mask and the proper equipment is a key component to that, because we have seen a number of staff that have worked with a number of individuals who have tested positive remain, go get tested and come back negative, and it really, it's a tribute to the just following universal precaution, wearing your equipment, making sure you're just following all the guidelines that we've set up, because that is what the Board of Health and CDC and everyone is recommending to keep us healthy and safe. So, anything else you wanna share, Sharon? Any other thoughts before I let you go? And so I know as we go, how many people did the mobile testing reach this weekend for NuPath?
5 plus staff, so maybe 10 or 12.
Okay, all right, yeah. So we will continue to try to work and utilize the mobile testing as much as possible as we go forward here as well. The rapid testing and just regular testing that we're getting done, and we're still working with the Board of Health on all the cities and towns as far as ability to go back to work or back to their programs once they've done their 7 to 10 days and they have remained healthy. And so I know that you're continuing to talk with all the local boards of health on a daily basis. And as far as equipment, we're doing pretty well with equipment. We did receive, as Dan mentioned the other day, a large supply of masks. We've also had some shields and some face guards and some gowns made available to us, and so we're doing pretty good as far as with equipment. And so we're everyone should wear a mask at all times when they're at the programs, and people have to stay vigilant with that. So all right, Sharon, thank you. So Greg, I don't know. Yes, Greg, any do you have any questions out there?
Dan, no questions right now.
Good. I assume that's a good thing. Maybe I'm so detailed oriented that I've touched on everything people might want to talk about. But I just want to again thank the staff and thank the families, and I'll give a minute here for questions. But honestly, to hear on Friday, to hear in the Unity meeting that Dan held, which I thought was fantastic, to hear the stories of what Brian is doing out there and his team and the telehealth has been very well. Also to hear Bessie's story and how people came together on Sunday and Easter Sunday, and to just know that everyone else who has reached out to me or forwarded me stories of families dropping off meals or supplies or parents making masks and all of that, it's so greatly appreciated. And as we continue to go forward, I know that some of the thought is, are we communicating enough, or are we communicating too much? Are these forums too much? But the feedback I guess we've all received is that this is how people are staying connected, and people want to hear these updates. And I think that I think we're all a little sort of getting to our wits' end. It's certainly from the protests that you saw over the weekend about this stay home and self-isolation approach, but I think it really is helping work and effective, and just looking at how we managed the center and being able to get people tested and to have them stay at a safe location. I think that is really attributed to I guess, our own flattening of the curve, where we're able to have these cases come in and be able to manage them, manage them in a consistent way, so that we're not seeing a huge spike at one time, or being overwhelmed. And so that's, if there's no other questions, or if there's any thoughts, this one will be a little shorter, which is okay by me if this works for everyone. Greg, no questions or thoughts?
Just one question came in, and that's from a parent. It's can you say how many of the residential clients are now at home with their families?
How many? So the number would be the same as anyone who's taken their son or daughter home before we had sort of the DDS mandate that people either needed to stay in our programs or to go home and not come back until that approval was given by them. So those numbers would be the same. We've only had one person choose to take their son home once there was some positive diagnoses in that individual's house, and that person has not rejoined NuPath yet. And before rejoining NuPath, will be tested and be monitored for a certain amount of days before being able to join us back at the residential program. And so we know that at some point we'll be having those people that are at home move back in, but we do have a plan in place that we're going to ask them to go through and follow through with, and will help certainly organize the testing for the family and for the individual. And again, I know we've mentioned it in many forums, but if if you're home and you need anything and you need some support from us, certainly please, certainly you don't have to send Greg in the question now, but reach out to whoever your contact usually is at NuPath, and let us know what you need, whether it's you yourself and your family is not healthy, and if there's anything we can do to help, we certainly will. Or if your loved one that you support at home who attends our day program is not doing well, then let us know, because we certainly will try to get any support out there that we can. And I know I've heard great feedback from some family members about just staying connected and seeing familiar staff. And so we will continue to stay on top of that programming and offer that programming daily. And I know you can go to the NuPath website, and there's a link right there that brings you directly to what the calendar and the schedule is for the week, which gives you the technical information you'll need to sign on for that. So please stay connected. Everyone's going through, as they say, we're all in together, but everyone really is going through this together, and we would just want to help out when we can. So.
Great. Yeah, Dan, I was just going to mention, you mentioned it. There's a pretty detailed schedule now on the NuPath website with the virtual programming, with kind of a detailed daily schedule. We had one other question come in. After staff test negative, when are they allowed to go back to work?
Mm-hmm. So 7 to 10 days from the first time they've shown symptoms or to the date they were tested. And that is the most recent recommendation from the CDC and Board of Health. And so that's usually what your doctor will let you know as well. Some doctors have said 14 days. And so we tell you certainly to follow the recommendation of your doctor, but because the doctors might usually be a little bit longer than the 7 to 10 days, but certainly it's the 7, really 10 days until you'll be able to come back to work for your shift and for your job. But again, you can work through Sharon through that, and she works through the Board of Health, and everyone knows by now that if you do test positive, your information goes directly to the Board of Health of the city or town that you live in, and it also goes directly anyone we know that is test positive, we contact that local Board of Health, for which they'll have the same information as the city or town. And so the system has seemed to work pretty good as far as knowing once somebody is tested, where they live and monitoring that person. So the Board of Health is really gives us our approval once once the person is ready to return from work, we check in with the Board of Health. They follow the case through their website, and they give us the okay as well. So yeah, that seems to have been that system seems to have been working very well during this whole process. I know some other systems, certainly an amount of access to testing and mobile testing and some other things, a lot of people have various opinions on. But as far as the Board of Health and Department of Public Health, that really has seemed to work seamlessly, and cities and towns have been pretty organized. I know the first week that wasn't the case, but certainly as time has gone by, they certainly have upped their game, if you would. So.
No more questions, Dan.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. I want to just say thank you again, and please, stay connected. Dan will be back on Thursday at 3 o'clock our regular time, and any new information we have then and any updates we can certainly share. And again, if you didn't get your question in, just email me or email Greg and or anyone really of recent contact with NuPath, and we will get you the answers to those questions that you have, hopefully. So, all right. Thank you, everyone.